Okay. Are we live? Are we actually live? Does it
I
say
don't-
we're live?
It says waiting. I'm going to reload.
Okay. If we are live, hello, you may notice no standby screen. I can explain that a little bit. Just want to make sure we're actually good to go first before I start my ramblings.
It still says waiting.
It does say upcoming for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Um,
strange.
Oh,
Oh, it did a thing. Are we good? That might have done it.
so, oh, there we go.
Alright, wow, that... Ooh, YouTube, you were getting later and later with letting me go live. Wow, oh boy.
Yeah, and be on the side thing. Something went wrong.
I don't know. But we're good
Mhm.
now. We're up. We're live.
Yep.
All right, cool. How's volume? Too high? Too low? I am still working on it. Which this can go for all people in chat as well, not just Joey. If anyone's here yet, maybe no one is.
I'm trying to hear my voice
It
again.
did just go live. But I can start explaining why I need to go through this because finally, after like a year or maybe more of me complaining through streams and recordings of, oh god, my computer, oh, it's dying, I have a new one. This is a completely new computer. First stream, new computer, new setup, everything. Well, not new everything, same microphone and like that sort of stuff's all the same, but like, so this background you see here, it's just like a little thing just because we need something, not just a black screen. But gotta redo all my OBS scenes. That's fine. I'm not actually worried about that. That's not a concern. However, I don't have any of my assets right now. Have not been able to transfer from old computer to new yet, so work with the bare minimum here. But still wanted to at least do the stream like I did last time, like before. Hello, Hermano. Just to double check, audio sound good? Too high, too low? New setup, working on stuff still?
It sounded good to me.
And you sound good? Not just me audio, but like background music and other people background. But yeah, this is going to be talking about chapter 2. Now that that's finished. Oh, okay, audio good. That's good. Good to know. Because, god damn, I've been helping... Alright, sorry, I'm going on another tangent immediately, before we even get started. I've been helping Clutch edit down his sessions. We're still in session 1 of Nowhere to Hide, by the way, that's who. And for some reason, I am so loud in that recording that it bothers me, and at points it bothers him at how loud I am compared to you guys. And
I didn't notice that.
No, I don't notice it either as much, but like for some reason that section, like I sort of know why. Like there are times where I lean forward, I probably got louder just now, and there's times where I'll lean back in my chair, I'm probably quieter right now. So depending on the volume I speak at, that probably affects it. But I'm not sure how much or like where's the good balance, because like, this is where I normally. And I mean, it also depends on like what monitor I'm facing for where I'm looking at my mic, or if I'm not facing it at all for quality, but that's neither here nor there. So just with the new setup, I want to make sure I'm not too loud, too low, normal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
With that out the way now, unless there's a third tangent I need to go on.
I was in a big tangent. Hello?
Yeah, no, I'm just taping.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Type.
La-da-dee-da-dee-da-do. Alright, also, in case you want to know, this is music from Fate Samurai Remnant, same thing I used last time. Not the same track as last time. I actually haven't used this track before because I wanted to get something completely new. Again, I don't have any of my old stuff yet, so it's just Cersei's theme. I thought it was nice. I at least wanted something here while we talk, discuss, hint, trivia, you know, the good stuff. So I'll probably pose the question again in a bit, but just in case anyone has questions, feel free to ask any and all questions about Chapter 2, or technically Final Note as a whole, up to this point. Because throughout the stream, yes, we'll be answering questions such as that. You know the drill. But, to start with, just in terms of general trivia stuff.
Oh, that's a...
Oh, hey, there is a message. Oh, yeah, I think I saw some of the messages in your server, Hermano, about you getting new stuff, so yeah, just ironic timing. We've been getting parts for this computer for months. It is built from scratch. Please do not ask what the specific parts are. I cannot remember that. I'm bad with those names. All I will say is that old computer, as of 10 years ago, was best in the business. Same thing for this one, but modern day. So, yeah. But, oh god, I lost my train of thought already.
You were posing that questions are free to ask.
Well, yeah, that part's just gonna be throughout the whole thing. I'm gonna be saying it again and again as time passes, so that if new people are in the stream, they can also know that. But yes, that's just always gonna be a free-floating thing. Feel free to ask questions about Final Note or Chapter 2, as either way. But to start, Chapter 2. I didn't pull up my notes. I don't have my notes. Ah!
Well, there's an issue.
I almost caught myself. No wonder I didn't pull it up. Oh, god, this is gonna happen a lot, I can tell.
Oh, maybe you should... Are your notes, like, saved in a file specifically, or maybe you should put them in a, like... You should put them in the Google Drive from now on?
No, I don't use Google Drive. I use Word.
And that has bit you in the butt.
Multiple times, yes.
Okay.
I'm stubborn. Okay, no, I think I know where I was going with that. Because I was going to talk about World 2 relative to other ones. So, like, World 1, it was there. It was always just sort of free-floating. God, I cannot say that phrase for some reason today.
I noticed.
And Chapter 2, I think, was either one of the first concepts I had for one of the 7 main worlds, or it was one of the last ones. Because I remember, at first it was just, oh, what if I made one of them based on the Servantverse? Yeah. That...
I believe, if I remember correctly, you had the idea to use the Servantverse in the beginning, but you had no idea what to do with it until the very end.
Well, yeah, because... No, yeah, I can get to that. But yeah, it at first, like, yes, of the 7 worlds, trying to think, like, oh, what could I do with them, even before attaching a number to it? Because I do remember, partly because of what you just said, even though you said nothing substantial, there was no number attached to the Servantverse. It was just, that's a neat idea. How would I do that? What would I do with it? Where would it occur? Actually, now that I say it, I think the Servantverse World 2 was the last one to be placed as a number. Which, fun fact overall, before I read this message I just saw, World 5 is the first one I had an idea for. I do have a quick question. It's unfortunate the others are not here. The question is, are you all satisfied with the way things are going so far? Well, others may be popping in now and again. I have left it free for them all to join. They are not banned from this stream for obvious reasons. But, you start, Joey, as a player, and then I can say my piece on that.
I said I am. I'm having fun with it.
Oh. I must have completely talked over that because I didn't hear it at all.
No, because I'm liking how each time I'm thinking of a way that I can give Zach a parting gift to help him along. Because that's just how I feel I want him to succeed.
Yeah, and as DM, yeah, it's been enjoyable so far. Chapter 1, just getting my bearings and actually doing it. Chapter 2, same sort of thing, getting into the groove of it, but knew a bit more about what I was doing. If I had to, like, say between the two which one I've had more fun with, I don't know. I might still say Chapter 1. Just
Well, I
because
mean,
of the different things going on in there. Just personal preference, though.
in terms of playing a character, I definitely had more fun messing around as Yuri,
Oh, I can agree.
But-
I saw that.
because I love Johanna, but I was being tormented.
By a certain quote-unquote villain. That's what I wanted to start off with. Ooh,
There you go.
thank me.
You're welcome.
Thank me? Hmm. I did want to say a little something about what we did for the anniversary of the channel, because I can see, and honestly, I sort of feel the same way, of how it feels a bit tilted away from the channel as a whole. But as I sort of said in the post and maybe in that same video, when we recorded that, we were short on time compared to the actual time, and that Saturday, people were not available except for it would have just been me and Clutch who could do stuff. So rather than that, and we had no plans, we had no idea what to do. Just thinking about what could we do? A tier list, like to rank something. At first, it was going to be player characters or just characters overall from all different sort of campaigns. But what would we rank them on? And as we started thinking more and more about that, we realized, well, if it's just us, it'd feel a bit unfair to rank, well, other people's characters, first of all, but also, like, their stuff without them present to do so. That, and once we started thinking about villains, I realized, oh, I only have images for my villains. I can't even do the other campaign's villains. So it ended up just being more of a fate thing, which somewhat upsets me, but it is what it is. Hindsight, we could have done it like weeks earlier, but yeah, well. You live and learn.
We'll get him next time.
Maybe. Feel like we always say stuff like that. I mean,
Wait.
that said, we are reaching 300, which is going to have a little something still for the past how many months have we been saying that?
I want to say the start of summer.
I honestly, I feel like it might have been sooner than that, but yeah, about that. Like, honestly, I was expecting us to reach 300 sooner than that, which I guess technically a good thing we haven't, because not all of the things we need for that are finished.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we went to 291, then we went back down to 90, then we're back up there again.
There are times where we just watch the sub count go up, right back down, and right back up again. But that's just how subs go. It's a wild ride.
It's fine.
Anyway, yeah. Ooh, I wish I could have my notes up for the world so I could see what I have written down that didn't actually happen. But I do have some things. I do know some things. To get back on track on to Servantverse stuff. Oh! Ha! Ooh, before I actually go back into that, again, sort of the elephant in the room. Wow, my timing as per usual in terms of Fate stuff. What do you know? I run a game based on the Servantverse. What happens? The anniversary servant is a Servantverse servant followed by a quote-unquote Servantverse event. By which I mean Space Erschkegel, love my girl, and quote-unquote CL.
What would you have done if it were Space Parvati?
I would have fucking... I don't know. I would have felt worse than when Noah happened. Which, I might be in a similar situation, actually. I don't know right now. That's all I'm gonna say. That's a different topic altogether.
We'll get to...
I mean, no, it's sort of... Well, yeah, we'll get to it. I'm sure people can piece the pieces together with what I've said up to this point in other videos, but yeah, by the end of the stream, what I show and say, you'll probably be able to figure out some things. But, oh, you don't know how tempted I was in that first moment of seeing her to put Space Erschkegel in the campaign before realizing there's no spot for her. It would just be shoehorning in. There's nothing. Yeah, clairvoyance B-. Although some might say it's EX because I don't even need to know it'll happen to make it happen, apparently. Chapter 1, I put Monte Cristo in, he gets his part in the story. I make it a Servantverse in Chapter 2, Servantverse servants come out. Chapter 3, we'll get to it. We'll get to that later. Who knows? Well, I know, but... Alright, sorry. Tangents are done for the moment, maybe. Well, probably not, knowing me. Chapter 2. Stuff. First thing I want to touch on. Masamune. A name that I mentioned multiple times in character during that game. Never showed up, never had anything, and that was partially because of how I changed the way I wanted the campaign to work. Well, story-wise, not the actual... You know what I mean. At first, yeah, Masamune, another swordsmith akin to Muramasa, was going to be a servant in the Servantverse. Or, well, Chapter 2. That's what I was thinking on doing. I thought about making him more prominent, but I just couldn't find a good way to work him in, nor could I actually make him a character in my head. So I ended up... Because this is something I don't bring up a lot. There are other original servant ideas, or character ideas in general, that I do have that I end up scrapping. This is just one of them that I decided to keep in the game without actually showing, by both naming it the International Masamune Company and bringing up his name now and again just to say, oh, he's here technically, he's existed, he's not going to show up, but it's something. Which I guess technically worked out well with me mentioning two names that sort of did or did not appear. Maybe I did say EX2. You can't please me. But with both mentioning Set and Masamune, two actual characters in either history or myth, one of which showing up in a different sense, it sort of painted that picture of either one could appear, which was completely unintentional, actually. Hold on a second, water. So Masamune is the big one for, like, I guess cut content, you could call it. As well as Takeda Shingen, I sort of had plans to sort of bounce off of and rival Uesugi, but the more I got into Uesugi's role in the game, the less I could find a point in putting him in as well. Because Uesugi was already, quote-unquote, the ultimate one. And then basically flopped sides later on. There would be no point in a rival for her specifically if the side that she's on will change anyway. And at that point, I sort of felt like I was going to be touching on the heels of that Guda Guda campaign a bit too much, just a tad. So I just... That's another character I decided to not put in, but... I mean, I could still put him somewhere else. He can fit other places, maybe. We'll find out. Who knows? And if you haven't noticed by now, each chapter I try and put in some Samurai Remnant characters. Maybe. It might be difficult in future worlds, but I hope I can try and keep that up, just because, well, I like them. I like their designs. I like what they are. Chapter 1 obviously had Jeanne d'Arc, Lancer, and Dorothea. I can't remember if I put anyone else in. I think it was just those two. While in Chapter 2, easily Yui Shosetsu and Samson. Easy. Those two are right there. Which, yeah, I know. Yui wasn't a servant in the game. So what? She's a servant in Grand Order. She very much could be a servant just because basically any of the characters from Samurai Remnant could be considered servants. They're from historical Japan, so why not? But, future chapters. I can think about where I'd put some people. Others, though, I don't know. Uh, okay. What's next? I feel like
That's a
there's...
good question.
Hmm?
I said that's a good question. What is next?
That is a good question. I mean, I guess I can show places that the group never went to on the map while I'm here.
Okay.
Because I did
Maybe.
have other places, and technically one of them is labeled without being on here. Yeah. If I want to add someone, I'll do it. Well, with exceptions. If I can make them work, I will. I would not shoehorn in characters, otherwise, who boy would I have put Space Airskegel in this world. But I didn't, and things like that. I'd love to put certain characters in, but if I can't find a place to put them, I'd rather not force it. Now, if you look over here, it's Ranmaru's planet. That's where she came from. And even though nothing would ever come from it, I at least wanted to label her brother planet. Just because it is mentioned in the Servantverse, there is a planet for her brothers. You get it. Maybe. Probably.
So there's all. It's just a guy version.
No, he's an actual servant.
Ah. Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Just all the same. Okay.
Same way for like how planet Ranmaru would just be all Ranmarus, and the best Ranmarus are Ranmaru. God damn me. I mean, first of all, I guess it's because of Klitsch they actually say that in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, whatever. It's fine. It sums up the Servantverse pretty much.
Yeah. My mother, the planet, or her?
Damn you. What else? As I scroll through my stuff just to see. Because I'd like to go in order, but that's not going to be possible here, both because I don't know everything that I would actually talk about if I had all my proper notes. But also, I jump around a lot.
Mm-hmm. You had your notes, you might be a little better.
Might be a little more focused.
Yeah.
Alright, Medusa. I can talk about Medusa for a little bit. The short one session she appeared. And how out of place Cerberus, Scylla, and Echidna felt. Because, yeah, they were out of just the Greeks in the Servantverse, which I technically said to... I don't think anyone caught on to this, but I did say, whether on stream or not, to the players that it's only going to be servants in here. That's all that it'll be, except for the ultimate one, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if anyone caught on to the fact that those three, Cerberus, Scylla, and Echidna, were servants. And you could chalk it up to they are familiars of a servant.
Yeah.
But technically not. Maybe they'll reappear.
Cerberus.
Not Medusa
Scylla
herself.
Medusa was a servant.
No, yeah. I mean, appearing later on.
Yeah.
Medusa was there for a little bit. Yeah, there's always going to be minor characters that appear for a second. I sort of feel that way with the Three Musketeers, where they seem like they could have had a more important role, but since they stayed on their planet, they were more so just a stopping point. I guess you can't really talk about Medusa without the petrification that was mentioned, and in a way, not really resolved. It was, but not in the way you would think. Because, yeah, it was briefly brought up that, oh, hey, this guy, future known as the Black Prince, he also can petrify things. Yeah, it was certainly his doing, and honestly, he was you could call him the mastermind behind the entire chapter. from controlling the Shogun to moving certain pieces where they needed to be, like the remnants of Nobunaga that shouldn't exist in the first place, and putting Medusa near worlds that were petrifying because of him, just to throw it off his own scent. So why wouldn't he? Why would he want to be seen as the perpetrator? Obviously, he wouldn't. So, yeah, Medusa was just a scapegoat to him. Ah, yeah, speaking of scapegoat, ooh, that's a villain who didn't go anywhere. Marie Alter.
Yes.
Yeah, ooh, speaking of minor, yeah. No, there was not too much, but a bit more planned for her. Like, the group was supposed to stay on Atlas for a little longer, sort of get to the crux of her plan, which sort of didn't happen, both because of actual out-of-game stuff, like the party being split for a bit, and then the other half having to arrive, and also in-character stuff, like the Shogunate actually appearing, which still leans into that part, since they wouldn't have shown up as soon as they did if the other party... You get what I mean. You understand. So, if given more time, Marie Alter would have had a bit more of an impact, but even then, she was still always going to be less of a villain than, say, Space Odysseus, or even Hassan of the Shining Star. Which, that's a whole, if we're putting a pin in that one. I feel like I am just jumping around. I cannot keep track of what I'm saying. Oh, hey, no, there's one I didn't reveal. Because that's something I can mention oh so briefly. Where is it? On Myoden, another planet next to the Shogunate, which was initially gonna be where they fought the Black Prince, but I just decided to merge what happens on those two worlds together, since I mean, the map was big enough, it didn't really matter. Yeah. Oh God, I really do wish I had some of the art to show full screen, even though I don't necessarily need to. However, speaking of art, if you noticed earlier today, just like last time, I did post the end card for Chapter 2. Which, unlike last time, is not a physical object that Zacharias had, but rather more like a memory, you could say. Which is just his final match between Zacharias and mysterious Majin X. Which you saw happen towards the end of the last session. Also, I feel like I shouldn't have to say this, but spoilers if you're here and haven't watched Chapter 2. I feel like that should be self-explanatory, but just in case, saying that now. You know what I just realized?
What?
Which I can say here, and you know, I should just go into that topic in general now, which I would rather not at this moment, but it's fine. Two characters... What are you laughing at?
Chat just... On my computer, chat just keeps disconnecting and reconnecting. I don't know why.
Okay. Yep. Oh, yeah, I see. Chat disconnected, successfully connected. Yeah, I see that. Weird that it's not on OBS, but it is on YouTube. Oh, well. But, yeah, this is going to be the transition, I suppose, but as usual, I'm going to say it again just in case now. If you do have any questions... yeah, spoiler warning. Should have said that at the beginning, I suppose.
Yeah.
But if you do have any questions regarding Chapter 2 or any of Fate Final Note, feel free to ask them. Just saying that again in case new people are here and didn't hear me say it the first time. That's just an all-around thing for this entire stream. Now, where I was going with this. There are like, yes, ideas can change for player characters. And, hoo boy, nothing beats this one. One person stuck with their... Wait, did you stick with your idea, Joey?
Yes.
I can't...
What was my idea?
No, for Yuri or your character for Chapter 2.
Oh, I think we were
I can't
just
remember
we
if there
were
was something before him.
Oh, for the Servantverse? No.
Yeah. Okay.
No, there was no other idea because Yuri had been in the works for a backup character
I guess I could mention that.
for Extraneous.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I even got the idea for Yuri is because we were helping someone else make a character and we were just looking for servants ideas.
Yeah, so I guess before I mentioned the others, yeah. Yuri was initially way back in the early days of Extraneous, was Joey's backup plan in case Davey died. That never really came to pass, but the idea stuck, and...
Oh.
Almost! A few times.
Nah, one time. I died. I literally died. Like the second session.
Yeah, that was a bit too early. Oh, poor Davey, if that had stuck.
I would have been so sad.
But yeah, I mean, the idea actually got to go somewhere. That's good. Sometimes ideas for characters just end up going nowhere just because they either don't fit and you forget about them, or it just never comes to pass.
Yeah.
So luckily, this is one of the ones where that character got to have a moment, which is just a silly bear. Not really, but yeah.
He was a silly bear.
I mean, he was.
Silly bear.
Silly bear?
Silly
Tricks up for
old
kids!
bear. No, silly old bear. That's Winnie the Pooh.
Oh. I'm an idiot. But that's not the only character trivia here, which I'm not going to spoil things. However, there are 2 other player character ideas that changed in the course of creating the characters for Chapter 2. That being Taz and Kobu's characters were not initially what they are now. However, they're not going to waste because apparently, unless something changes again, those same scrapped ideas are being pushed into Chapter 3. So you'll get to hopefully see what their initial ideas were for the Servantverse, and maybe you can figure out what would have happened if they were in this world. Or how they would have been in this world. Because let me tell you right now, World 2 and World 3, very, 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 very different. Which, yeah, I'm probably doing this out of order and sooner than I would have otherwise, but gonna move on to stuff for Chapter 3.
Wow,
So, yeah, it's actual spoiler territory now. And first, that means showing off the general feel for it. Now, whether or not this map looks familiar to people, maybe it'll give you an idea. Or not. Who knows? You might misunderstand.
I know this map.
It's a very generic map, but it shows what it needs to.
It's when a great line was made.
Probably, I don't remember. I don't remember the map. If you say it's this one, I'll believe you.
I'm pretty sure it was this one. It's when we were because it was used at the point in Extraneous.
Yeah.
And it was when we were fighting the Vengeance Beast.
No.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe it was. Oh, yeah,
It was.
it was. You're right.
That's when the best line was made.
Okay, now, time to get a silhouette for you people. Oh, this is so not gonna blend. This is gonna blend right into it. Oh, no.
Yeah, maybe not the best background for that.
Oh, no. Well, I guess for a bit I'll get rid of that. Whew. We'll go back to it.
I see it. Ooh, there we go.
Yeah, no, it fits more here. There we go. That's actually relatively visible.
Wait, oh god.
Hang. Neither of us noticed that the arms are transparent.
How did you do that?
How did you? Oh, you're doing it again, Joey. You did it again.
What? I just did white. I did not make it transparent. I swear to God.
I mean, Yuri was transparent somehow.
This makes no sense. Makes no fucking sense. Because there are other spots that are the same color.
I know.
I don't get it.
I don't know either. Sorry, this is the very first time I've ever put this image on OBS for obvious reasons, but it looked perfectly fine in my program. It looked perfectly fine there. Same with Yuri though, so I don't know.
I don't get it. I don't know. Maybe you can fix it.
Nope.
Well, I mean, just literally just repaint it or something. I don't know.
I mean, it won't matter once there's actual color, but yeah. Here's a character, and by which I mean the only one who has art for some reason already for Chapter 3, because it's not happening soon. Which, yeah, I'll briefly touch on that. How last time for the last Talking Fate, pretty much all of the art for Chapter 2 was done, simply because it was happening in like 2-3 weeks from that point. With this one, we got time. There's a whole campaign act for Toho that's got to go on before Chapter 3 starts again. So we didn't do much yet. Obviously, there's some things in the works. Like this is not the only one being worked on. There's something else. Maybe a player has their art done, possibly, which they said. Or it's a very rough. You know what? I'll give people a chance. If people can, how do I want to phrase this question? I will show something. Show some behind the scenes, very, very rough workings, which may or may not actually get used. If someone can mention the name of a character who will appear in Chapter 3 as a main force. You cannot do this, Joey, and you know the exact name I'm thinking of. Oh, hey, you got a comment.
I got a comment?
It's good that you got a laugh out of Yuri.
My lovely bear man, I love him to death. He was the best.
He was great. Maybe not my favorite character of yours, but you get some bangers.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, when you were talking about what is Marie?
Yeah.
That was when Yuri just went, yeah, no, yoink.
Oh yeah, just stealing Kugamimi no Mikasa. Just
part of the reason why she didn't get to go anywhere.
Yeah, her ritual sort of stops in the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I am glad. I wasn't trying to just make Mikasa do absolutely nothing for two campaigns in a row, by which I mean show her off and then kill her instantly.
She got help.
She did help. She was surprisingly powerful.
Yeah.
Oh, and to go back to my I suppose challenge for chat. You can ask for hints if you want. I may or may not give answers. Just so you don't work blind if you want. I had to write that exact message 3 times. Sometimes my diction absolutely hates me. Yeah, believe me, yeah. There are some messages that get sent in this Discord that, you would not believe humans wrote them. And I mean that for myself, too. There are times I have to correct my own typing. And other times it's done on purpose. That reminded me while this is going on, and backtracking back to Chapter 2, Typhon. That was supposed to be a little bit more than it ended up being, but that is, again, forces from outside playing a part. Because if you did notice, from a certain point on, Taz was no longer in the game. That is purely because their work schedule shifted and they were forced to work on Sundays, so nothing that we could really do about that for a while. The options there would have just been put a hiatus on the entire campaign until possibly they get Sundays off, reschedule it to another day, which was not working out, as we did try to do that. Or, as Taz was completely okay with, continue on Sundays, and if they can make it, they can make it. However, I did also want to sort of cut it shorter than that, just so it didn't feel like Taz was missing too much from the game. And unfortunately, part of that was Typhon. I like the way I made it work out. Having that combat with Typhon, which there was going to be a combat with the actual Titan form, I feel like it fit much better for it to just be the roles and the more cutscene aspect of it. But yeah, that fight definitely got skipped over a bit. Even though the reveal itself, kind of important. You know, kind of important, showing what was inside of Zack since Session 1. And how it fit into the story. Yeah. Sometimes when players aren't in games, we say a reason for, like, oh yeah, they're busy, or oh, they couldn't make it, they're sick, or something. But there are definitely times where we just kind of ignore the fact that there's someone missing. So, sometimes, most of the time it is quite literally just, they can't make it. But if it happens for weeks on end, then yeah. I can certainly understand how the silence from that can leave questions. As I had something similar happen to me in a completely different regard, unrelated to any of this. Ugh. Oh, let me see if I can just... I want to see if I can do something. Is this the right one? This is the right one. Can I grab you? Move you over? Yeah, alright. This can work. Yeah, it works. Just so I can still have that screen up. And show off a little bit while not taking away that character. Who might it be? Who knows? Can you tell? Is there hints in the design? Who knows? I mean, the answer is technically yes, there are hints, obviously, but whether you can figure it out, who knows? Actually, I feel like there's something very simple I glossed over, because I feel like I've always glossed over it. I don't know if I even mentioned this in a stream. Like, the whole thing in Chapter 2 was, yes, the Servantverse. However, it was also mixed with Gouda Gouda stuff. If it wasn't completely obvious by the Gouda Gouda characters showing up. And, I guess you could say my original, which is just a version of another Gouda Gouda character, Tokugawa Ieyasu. Who, maybe I didn't even say his full name on stream. I just called him Tokugawa most of the time. But it was specifically Ieyasu. As a classes. I don't know if I said everyone's classes for original servants. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But Ieyasu was a pretender. Because it wasn't just the person, but rather a mix of every single body double for the Tokugawa shogunate. Oh, let me see message. Yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine. Trust me, derailing conversations, I do that enough on my own. So feel free to ask any questions you want. And that goes for any of the people viewing right now, whether you're lurkers or not, feel free. Alright, who else? I feel like Parvati, or Space Parvati, I did say is a berserker.
Yeah.
I do feel like I said that in game. Oh,
They
well, I had
referred
to. I called them the Pink Berserker.
Yes, and they referred to themselves as Berserker until they gave their name.
Yeah. Now, Mysterious Majin X. I might actually be wrong about this because it's not written on their sheet, and my notes are obviously not with me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that they also were a berserker. If
That
not,
was never said.
no, it was never stated. But it's if not berserker, saber. It's one of those two. The only reason I leaned towards berserker is because I veered away from saber because of Summer Okita Alter being a saber. I think I might have still gone with saber in the end. I don't actually know. Definitely not alter ego, though. That I know as a fact. I feel like I mentioned that the, Three Musketeers, there we go. I feel like I mentioned they were sabers. Or a saber. They are one servant. Maybe. However, that does, as I scroll through all the characters that were here, that does lean into another little sort of trivia tidbit. The Count of Monte Cristo! The Wanderer, as he was called in this chapter, briefly. Well, on and off briefly. He appeared multiple times and sort of played a role. But I mean, he didn't do all that much. The most he really did was break the shielding of the ultimate one at the very end. But he did, unfortunately, give the opposite of give his own life to do such a thing. Which he was fine with. He was fine with that since he thought his vengeance was complete. He was wrong, but don't let him know that. And he could technically be with Heidi again. Ooh, another question. I want to make one thing clear. I'm not asking out of curiosity. Are you looking for any new players for next part? The answer to that is technically yes. By which I mean we have some guaranteed players, and then we have possible players. And then there's people who I've asked who I have not yet gotten back to that since we're still a bit further away, seeing how life works for them, for what actually is going on with them at that time. So if everything works out and everyone who I've talked to up till now says yes, then technically the party is hello, Mosmero.
Hello.
Technically, yes, that would be the full party if everyone who I've talked to can do it. Otherwise, as we get closer, that's when I can have a better idea of, all right, do I need to start asking other people in or technically out of the group, or well, yeah. Hopefully that answered the question. I didn't just spout nonsense. As I just keep scrolling through things to see what I may have missed in terms of saying things. But yet again, I will just say it again. If anyone in chat has any questions regarding Chapter 2 or Fate Final Note as a whole, feel free to ask, and we'll answer whatever.
What happened to the Three Musketeers?
What do you mean?
Where did they go afterwards?
Oh, they just stayed around, did their own thing.
Yeah.
They didn't die. They didn't die. They lived. They just
Okay.
didn't participate in the final fight. Same with Charlemagne.
Yeah. Okay, I'm curious. Do you have an idea of what happened with Marie when she woke up?
Oh, I had the weirdest conversation with Charlie. Oh, that's something!
Yeah.
I don't think I mentioned it on stream. Maybe I did. My memory is the worst. The Charlemagne that you see is the same Charlemagne from Six Zenith. Same one who appeared early on in that game, reappeared later on in Avalon. Same dude. It is not the Servantverse's version of him.
Oh god, there could be 2 Charlies running around?
Is that really weird when you have a planet full of Ranmarus?
Well, no, but in terms of power of 2 Charlies.
Okay.
And 2 flying fortresses.
Just to manage a planet full of them.
Yeah. Oh god, now I'm thinking about the planet of Ranmaru, just all these Ranmarus on swords, the fucking airport.
God, I don't want to think about that. I love Ranmaru. I mean, I feel like I have to love her if I use her in multiple games. Well,
Yeah.
If I use a Servantverse game, I kind of have to. Well, I don't have to, but I don't know. Sort of stopped myself short from saying whatever I was about to. All right. I don't think I've opened this up yet. Oh, well, that was the weirdest thing that's happened to me so far. It sounded like someone blew in my ear. I'm wearing earphones. Headphones, actually.
I don't know.
I don't know. There's no one near me. I'm alone. Wangina. I can talk about the Wangina a bit and how odd they seemed in the game. Because the moment they were met, they were mentioned earlier on, but the first moment that the Wangina was seen, their power was at that point already taken from them and technically used to be a part of the Ultimate one. Because the Ultimate was just a conglomerate of a lot. Alright. But the Wangina was a lot weaker and a lot less useful than they probably would have been had Zack been able to free them earlier, which, again, that actually couldn't have happened. By the time Zack was on that ship, it was already too late, but just the point. Don't let him know, otherwise he might feel bad for himself. Oh, speaking of feeling bad for himself, don't tell him about Uesugi.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that was a thing. That was what I was going to say. I can imagine if somehow God, what's his name?
Yeah?
The main driving antagonist.
Hyaki?
Yeah, if he could, I feel like he would just somehow send a note to Monte Cristo. Just be like, thanks for the help, by the way.
Oh, if only Monte Cristo still existed.
Well, yeah. Just to be like, gotcha.
Oh, that would really drive home the vengeance of, oh, I got to murder this man.
Yeah, but he's already dead. That's the point. Like, just as he dies, thanks for the help. You motherfucker.
Oh! That is what I forgot about that slightly because of just... It didn't happen. It didn't happen, so I actually forgot about it until I started looking through characters. Alexandre Dumas. He appeared in Chapter 1, and was beaten in Chapter 1. And was outright killed by, again, Hyaki. Man, that man's doing a lot of work, isn't he? Cutting down all the villains and Uesugi. But the original plan was for Dumas to start doing stuff in Chapter 1 and reappear in Chapter 2, both being able to control Monte Cristo if he had still appeared at that point, and the Three Musketeers, because both are works that he made. Which would have given a bit more stuff for the Three Musketeers which is another reason why they feel like they didn't do all that much, but yeah. Not really a scrapped plot point, but more just a change in placement, you could say. But yeah, the fight with him in Chapter 1 was still going to happen regardless, but not his death and puddling, I'll call it.
Puddling.
I don't know, what else do you call that?
Is liquidification.
Yeah, that works. Right, talked about the margin a bit. You know what? I'll ask it again just to see. Any thoughts so far on that challenge I posed to chat before? Any possible answers? Any thoughts? While I look through things. But while that question lingers still, and the challenge itself, Astartes, and technically the world itself. I mentioned before, even if briefly, it is the same Astartes from Six Zenith, the same one that was Alpha, Beta, Eta, etc. Delta, I think, maybe Gamma. I can't remember all their names. No, I don't think there was a Gamma. But all of them, the actual goddess Astartes. I just talked a little bit about Duman, how his role in Chapter 1 was cut short, and he was supposed to appear in Chapter 2 a little bit more. And now I'm just talking about Astartes and their role in kind of all games, but more so here. Because that same Astartes, who was somewhat friends with the party, as they probably said in the game at some point, that is way too far back for me to remember a specific line I may or may not have said that they will create a universe at some point. Which, yes, this is the proof of that. They did. It just happened to be that not at the same time. It is more so... Well, it's not a coincidence. That's a lie. It is completely intentional that Hyaki put an Ultimate One in that world. Which then led to the people in Osbu. Which, if you're unfamiliar with me saying that term, that is the base that Zacharias lives in, and the people there. You can watch episode 0 for chapter 1 to get a better idea of who is there. I'm not going to go into all that detail right now, but the Ultimate One being in the Servantverse, being in Astartes' world, is why they thought that that was another thing they had to deal with. Technically, they could have left that part completely alone, because it doesn't affect them. But since Zach was there, thought, oh, dealing with the Ultimate One anyway, helping these people, that is good, even if I'm still feeling conflicted about the whole thing. And, well, I mean, Astartes themselves didn't appear that often, which I was aware they were going to. I did not want them to appear very much. It was not their story to tell. Just a little thing in the beginning to say, they're here, clue you, the viewer, into this is their world, and then come back in the end and close stuff out with them. anything else? Anything I can think of besides more Chapter 3 stuff, which sort of relies on chat? Hmm?
Hmm?
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, a little bit separate from the challenge, but I can ask another question. Because so far, in both Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, both Kyaki and Yako have had at least one servant of theirs each in each chapter. Who do you think each one will send in Chapter 3? Based on the hints that you've been given so far. This time I'm posing a question for you, chat. And no, I will not be giving complete hints of which servants they all have, because not all of that's known. Gotta work with your own memories. And unfortunately, Joey cannot answer this one because I'm pretty sure he knows the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure. If someone else is here, I could ask them. But I cannot do that. You know, the more I listen to this track, the more I start to like it. Like, I liked it the moment I heard it before I put it on. But I hadn't actually heard it that much in-game until now. Maybe I'll use it later. Who knows? Well, probably not. Doesn't really fit elsewhere, unfortunately. Same sort of reason why I don't use Foreign Wind in Chapter 2. It more so fit the vibe of Chapter 1, but not elsewhere. Huh. Oh no, I'm running out of things that I can think of.
Oh no.
Oh no. I mean, this might actually be the only stuff I knew to begin with. Maybe I'm trying to think. I think back to my notes.
But you can't get to your notes.
No, but if I think about them, what can I remember?
Can you
Any
remember?
scrapped idea? Do you remember?
I don't know. I've never seen your notes.
Not you.
This is why you should put them in the Google Drive.
No, horrible, terrible. Oh.
Put them in there. You would have access to them wherever you go.
You may be right, but that doesn't mean you're correct.
I think it does.
Oh, hi, Digital. Just talking about Chapter 2 of Final Note. As I keep saying the rest of this, though. Feel free to ask any questions about Chapter 2 or any of Final Note as a whole, and there's also currently a question I have posted the entire chat for the stream. If they can get it right, I will show a little something for Chapter 3, but can you name the character who will be a very important force in Chapter 3? With hints I have given throughout both this stream and other videos up to this point. And yes, you can ask for hints. So far, no one has, though. The organization Zack is a part of seems similar to an extent to Chaldea. I'm correct in that assumption. Well, yeah, in the sense that they're both trying to get back their own worlds, which, yes, there is the similarity between the pseudo-realities and the Lost Belts. That's just a fact of they're both parts of the world that are different history-wise from their own. Otherwise, Lost Belts just are completely different histories that could have happened. Pseudo-realities are fixed worlds that are separate, that have been specifically created for this. They just also happen to have different pasts. I guess also you could say the similarity between like the trees in each Lost Belt and then the ultimate ones. Yeah, I can see that similarity too. But sorry, I got off track. Digital, to continue what I was saying before, we've been talking about chapter 2, a little bit of chapter 1, just because those things interconnect. And so far on screen is a character and a quote-unquote map for chapter 3. I say quote-unquote map because it's just a map I've used in the past. I don't actually have every map for chapter 3, so I don't have the world map there for that. Because there is still time between that. Okay. Alright. Maybe I get a hint. I want to see if I can figure this out. It is a name I have not said on this stream yet, but it is a name I have said in past streams and videos recently. There's no way I can guess anything else state of mind. Fair enough.
They asked for a hint.
They did. And I slightly gave one, but I can limit it a little bit. They are a technically pre-existing character. If it was one of my own, I would not give this challenge because the options are limitless there. So I will at least give that as a freebie as well. And now just real quick, while that goes on, I'm going to be scrolling through my images in Roll20 to see if there is anything that I've not thought of that's still here. Although, based on where I am right now, I'm going to say no, because I'm in a whole bunch of Toho things from Act 1 of that, so probably nothing. But you never know. No, never mind. It's nothing. Great. Beautiful. Okay. Oh, God. Okay. Huh. I think I have said a majority of what I wanted to. I think I hit all the points I wanted to, at least. Up to this point. The slightest of things. Just while those hints are now floating in the air. Yet again, Chapter 2 has ever so slightly hinted at something that'll be overarching throughout most... probably not all, but most of the chapters. Which, I mean, so far it's just been Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, so... there have been multiple things that have overlapped between them, so that, yeah, you probably can't pinpoint what I mean yet. But maybe in Chapter 3, you will. Mayhaps. Because I don't think there should be anything else up to this point that overlaps in all 3 chapters, except for that. Unless you can find something unintentional, which, I mean, unintentional, so I can't think of. Any thoughts so far? as well as any questions, possibly. I may also be stalling for someone who said they may pop in. Just to see. Because I'd hoped for it to be a little bit more than just me and Joey here the whole time. But hey, it is that way sometimes. People can make it, sometimes they can't. I talked about that earlier for sure. But this wasn't really a scheduled thing, it was more so just a, hey, if you want to pop in, you can. Aha! I have my next hint, but that depends on if anyone's got a guess yet. Weird way to say that, since... I mean, it was a hint I had thought of earlier, but it completely slipped my mind. It also shouldn't have been the first one anyway, so... it works. Ooh. Ooh.
Cool.
Stream. Aha.
Yes.
That's something that I will have to fix. Haha, first time I actually saw that issue because I've never had good connection for that issue to exist. Alright, there's a message here.
Old Nobunaga
Her showing up again seems unusual considering what happened.
concerning with what happened.
Nope, it is not Oda Nobunaga. Ah, God. Alright, let me see if I can do that now while I give the next hint. While I also reiterate what it actually is. A character of importance who will be a major part of Chapter 3, who is an existing character. And, okay, just to reiterate, when I say existing character, I technically mean any of my campaigns as well, but I more so meant, like, a Fate existing character, or I'll say Fate existing character. I mean, I could say Type Moon, but that feels a little mean, because that's a lot. But the next hint, actually, is that it's connected to what happened to Hassan of the Shining Star. Those little cutscenes I gave for him towards the end of the campaign, in those later sessions. There's your next hint. Feel free. While I try and see if I can edit this now, so it's there. That's what I want to do. Okay, so what if I do this? Because that should be that. But apply. Okay. Don't mind me just editing my settings just because. Oh, also, I suppose I should have asked that as well. Is the quality of video clear on the stream? Because I remember there was a long time ago where I just had the completely wrong settings, so everything was a little blurry for like a year. But you said it looks good?
Well, I have my
give up.
Yeah, no, because my quality was at the bottom, so I hit it to the HD and it looks great.
Oh. Cool. That is good for me to know. Alright, yeah, that is that. But, oh no. You've not. Well, I guess this. I guess this will just have to stay hidden forever.
I mean, until the game.
Until the Talking Fate for Chapter 3, yeah. Well, maybe. I might still not show it off.
But
You know.
No?
Okay, that's fine.
Weren't you talking about the thing for chapter 3, or were you talking about something else?
I'm talking about the thing for chapter 3.
Yeah, won't it
Yeah.
be revealed in chapter 3?
Probably not. Maybe. Who knows? Depends on if I use it or not.
Oh! Pretty sure you gotta use
I mean, I don't know if I have to use... You know why. You know what it is.
I think. Are we thinking of two different things at the moment?
I hope not. That'd make this awkward, but we could be.
Alright.
Unless someone else in the chat currently has any thoughts about this, that might be the end of that challenge. Unfortunately, I couldn't make like a poll or something because it will just be either the answer and not answers, or it's just I know or I don't know, and this isn't exactly poll worthy. That's all I can really say on that. And then there's me hoping that I don't actually accidentally slip up and say the name by accident. Knowing you two are talking about two different things, probably.
Maybe.
Based on this confusion, probably.
Because I don't think there's no way you could not use the thing I'm thinking of.
I feel like there very much is a way I could not use the thing you're thinking of, or that I'm thinking of.
Okay, okay. It's out of character knowledge, but it's something that... Well, no, my character would know this, and this is why I know that they want to beat the shit out of them.
Hey, there's hit number 3, I suppose, if it means anything. Probably not, though.
So yeah, so I'm thinking of the right person. How could you not use them?
Specifically this image.
Oh, okay, the image of them.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, not the character itself. They will appear. Just
okay, that's why I was
the rough
confused.
draft
So
of them.
we were thinking of the right one. Okay.
Just in two different contexts.
Okay, I get.
Now you get it.
Yeah, I get it now. But oh well, if you were waiting for Taz to appear, don't they still not get off till like 4?
No, that wasn't quite what they said. I mean, the answer is yes to that, but... Well, also the answer is no to that, because they closed today.
Oh, well, shit.
But they said they could hop into chat around 3:30.
Ah, well, we're not quite there yet.
No, we're not quite there yet. Which would be fine if we don't quite get there, but...
Yeah, not a big deal.
Because I do think we are reaching the end soon. But while we are slowly going to be wrapping up, once again, we'll pose it in case there's anyone new. Any questions about Chapter 2 or Fate Final Note that you have as a whole, feel free to ask. There are no dumb questions. All questions are welcome. Any and all questions. I should say it that way. And yeah, for people who are new here and haven't been here since the beginning of the stream, yes, this is a temporary setup. I am working on getting a new computer set up, so this is that computer, just not with all my assets available, and gotta remake all my settings in OBS. So, I don't have much to work with at the moment. But yeah, by hopefully Wednesday, if not then whenever your next see streams will be... I just got sent a picture of a dog.
By who?
Well, my mom, but for my brother's dog.
Oh.
I don't get pictures of them very often. They're an adorable little dog. Sorry, I lost my train of thought completely. What was I saying?
You were talking about questions and other things and that we...
Oh, yeah, questions. Are there any
just
yet?
got
No.
here. And for the people who just got here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I
If
was
there
talking
are.
about my setup, how it's not quite the same yet, and yeah, how I should be back to, well, not back to normal, but I should have actual setups and stream scenes ready by hopefully Wednesday. If not, then whenever you next see a real stream, starting from, I'll give myself to like 1 week from now, next Sunday, when there's a stream starting that not. There will not be a stream next Sunday, probably. Maybe. I don't actually know. We might do something.
Unless someone decides they want to.
But there is no D&D game set for that Sunday. So, like, by that time, going on the week after that, blah, 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 I should be back to workable conditions. I'll say it that way. Oh, ooh, okay. I think you misunderstood there for just a second. Someone Yuri would want to hit the ever-living vodka out of? No. Not Yuri.
No. Next character.
Their character in Chapter 3, which has not been said, not been named at all, so it really doesn't narrow it down at all either, but...
Yeah, that was just to make sure that we were on the same page.
Yeah. Which, if it works for a hint, congrats to you somehow.
Really shouldn't.
It's not a hint. You don't know what the character... You don't know who the character would not like. I guess it tells you it's a not likable character. That's about it. Well, it's a not likable character. For a specific person, at least.
I think most people don't like them.
Okay, there's a hint.
I'm just gonna be honest with that one.
I mean, you're right. I'm just saying. We only talked about one person not liking them. It doesn't say very much. But yeah, no, there's an actual hint. Now you feel... No, it's fine. I mean, the way we said it wasn't very specific.
Yeah. I was trying to be vague not to give too much information.
Because while the two of us know what we're talking about, very much chat does not. Oh. Ooh, wait. I want to check something. Sorry, I'm a little off topic, but it's just me. I want to look at something real quick. Oh, I can do that. Oh, that's nice. I mean, doesn't actually mean, oh, if that number is right, then boy. Oh, wait, this is good. Doesn't actually matter for me, but that's good. Hey, typo. Where's a typo? Yeah. Sometimes I hate that I could just sit here and listen to some of these OST tracks for ages. They're just nice. Nice to listen to.
Yep.
And a part of me does wish that I could show a little bit more of Chapter 3. Just to hint at stuff, but I could if someone can somehow get this name right. But there's just not that much of it at the moment, because I already said it's not. Unlike Chapter 2, it's not happening super soon. It's going to be a few months away. So we've given ourselves time to work on it. Rather than have it all ready by the time another campaign is going to start before it... Oof. Yeah. I think that might... yeah. Oh! Before I say anything else... You know the feeling I have the entire FGO soundtrack and I listen to it when I'm working on something? Yep. I mean, off topic, but similar vein. There was, like, just a 6 or 9 hour video that just had a whole bunch of Toho tracks. I would just put that on and listen to that while I do something for, 6-ish hours. Not that long. I never usually got through the entire video, but it was nice to have the music on. But now I can no longer find said video, so methinks it's down. Sad.
Oh, Grandma, what do you do?
Very little. Alright. I think, as I just look at some things off to the side before I speak, so I'm not... Okay, yeah. This is about where I'd say we'll call it. So, this will be our last chance for any guesses or questions that you may have. So I'll give chat a little bit of time to write/type their responses, if there are any, and go from there. Oh, well, no, there is one more thing, but it's oh so slight and also not a guarantee. But it just this reminded me of what Joey and I were talking about right before the stream started, where hopefully for Chapter 3 there is another Episode 0 like there was for Chapter 1. Like that little scripted pot with Zach and the Osbrew crew. Hopefully there's a little something like that for Chapter 3, since, again, unlike Chapter 2, we'll have time. A whole few months for that. Which, if that is the case, that'll be your clue that, oh, the campaign is starting again soon. Good! Although, if you ended up watching Toho as well, which I hope you do, I enjoy that game. I will continue to enjoy it. Oh, well, that's great and horrible timing. Hi, Taz. Oh, well, I guess I'm not calling it now. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, don't. I mean, if you leave, we leave. But, I can pose it to you as well. Any questions or thoughts in general that you've had for both Chapter 2 as well as the entirety of Fate Final Note so far? Since I've been posing this to the entire chat, the entire stream. Yeah, I mean, chatting. I like talking with chat when there's people here. It's nice. But as well, Taz, I have a bit of a challenge for chat at the moment, which so far no one's gotten it right. Which maybe you have a bit of extra knowledge that others don't. I don't actually remember. But I posed a question of if they can name a specific character who will appear in Chapter 3. Joe question, can I have my missed sessions back? Ah, I wish. I mean, I guess we can do them out of session if you want, just to see what Laika was up to that whole time. But
Laika was chasing a squirrel.
They were just chasing a squirrel the whole time. Yeah, there you go. There's your sessions. You want to have your sessions? Go chase a real squirrel, Taz.
Or you can guess who the silhouette is.
Oh, I guess that's another question, but I will keep saying all the hints that I've been given so far for this specific character, just so Taz isn't working from nothing. They are a character who will appear in Chapter 3, who has been mentioned in both past videos and streams, more so someone on the recent end, but also, well in the past, technically, who will play a significant role in Chapter 3, is not Oda Nobunaga, I guess I can say that, will be hated by a lot of people, but specifically Joey's character in Chapter 3, and is connected to the little cutscenes that I did for Hassan of the Shining Star. But, okay, what is scroll now? Okay. I mean, honestly, I feel like the squirrels would come find you based on the stories you tell. Did I miss any of the hints, or was that everything?
I think that was everything.
Which you may assume, that hint about Hassan means absolutely nothing to Taz. They weren't there to listen to it. After every session, I did technically give Taz a little breakdown of what happened, just in case they appear in the next session anyway. So those little cutscenes, they have a slight idea about, even if they weren't there in the moment. Now, whether or not they remember, there's the important question. Although, to go along with that, if you do have any quote-unquote serious questions, you know me, so yeah, I figured. Oh well, I guess this image, this rough draft, will just never see the light of day. Or I can always just do this again at the Talking Fate for Chapter 3.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly. Unless you want to throw a random hint out there. Or not hints, a random guess out there, Taz. I will allow you one free guess. Though I actually have no idea if Taz could even get in the first place. Ooh! Although, for anyone else listening, I have one final hint. It relates back to what I was saying before about my timing earlier in the stream. But I'm bad at guessing. Good, bad, doesn't matter. Give a guess. Or don't. I feel like that last hint was actually a really good one, if people know. I mean, I'm certainly bad at guessing, I can tell you that much. Now they can answer the first question I asked too. Oh, yeah, you're right. Taz, how satisfied are you with the story so far? Because Hermano had asked technically all the players that question, but obviously only Joey's been here to answer. Very, that's nice, that's good. I'm glad that players enjoy. I mean, it'd be bad if they didn't. Yeah. Although, Hermano, I do wonder if that last hint I just gave, like, about a minute ago, maybe 2 at this point, was enough to actually give you a good guess. Because that I am genuinely curious about. The heck did I just hit? Ah. I have seen what I hit.
Mm.
To answer my own question as a viewer as well. Oh, yeah, I mean, it is a good thing to know that answer as well. Whether or not the viewers also enjoy the story and the campaign. Although one would assume that if they watch, they enjoy, but you never know. Yeah. Yep, no, me thinks that I am out of trivia tidbits to think of to say.
Okie dokie.
So that... Again, give chat a few seconds just to say their last piece if they want. Whether it's just a goodbye, a guess, a question, which will prolong the stream, I suppose. Or anything else in between of any of those. But otherwise, I do thank all the viewers who have been here from beginning of stream to right now, and even those listening in the VODs. You can leave whatever comments you want. Whether it's questions, comments, yep, you know the drill. I don't say it very often. Like, comment, subscribe. All the good stuff. Click that bell. I hate doing all that. There's a reason I don't say it very often. Autocorrect, sorry, I meant I am satisfied as well as a viewer. Nope, it's fine. I mean, I thought you were saying that your answer was that good. But, same sort of thing. Yeah. Thank you all for watching. The next stream of mine, well, the next game of mine, because I don't know about just random streams throughout the weeks, who knows. So that reminds me of the Tin Man for some reason. That is a good guess, I can see why. But, blah 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 blah. Next game, not gonna be for a few weeks. Obviously I'll set up the stream for Toho when it actually starts. You'll know, you'll see. Look out for that if you want to watch it, or if you don't, still watch it. It'd be good. It's a good game. Me like it. Player likes it. Players... Only a single player likes my game. That's good. No. So far, all I've heard is good things from the players about Toho, so that's nice. I like it. It's more casual. It's good. Watch it, please. You'll enjoy it, I'm sure, if you like my other games. Or if you don't like my other games, maybe you'll like it because it's different and it's not Fate. I don't know why I'm trying to fight for that so much. Anyway. Whenever the next time is that you watch one of these streams, see you there. So, thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Bye-bye.
As I go to the worst standby screen you will ever see, because, well, you'll find out.